Ready?
And we're about to kick off here at the Constant Spring Sports Complex between Cavaliers and Harbour View. For Cavaliers, we have in goal, we have Jamar Garden for Cavaliers, Niquin Patrick, Javel Watson, Deshaun Jacks, Damarna Williams, captain, Simon Henry, Mike Taylor, Kimani Thompson, Rajon Small, Tevin Savage, Damani Ballin, Shaquan White, Demario White, and number 23, Joaquin Bryan. And we have a kickoff. Early foul there conceded by Harbour View. Seems like a head collision, and the medical staff is on. Referee stops play for both players to get some treatment.
Harborview will, of course, be looking to avenge last week's loss against Mount Pleasant, which currently sees them, I think, 4 points off the top. What do you expect from them today?
I expect a much better showing from the Harborview team. I thought they looked a bit off it last week against a very sturdy Mount Pleasant opposition. So I guess that game would have been their wake-up call, and today they put forward a much more attacking display. Tariq Robinson, their talisman, didn't show up much last week against Mount Pleasant, so this week I believe he will get back that goal scoring form that he was in the middle of the season to really get his team the 3 points today.
It's probably the first time all season that we've seen him be kept quiet. A really great job by the Mount Pleasant
team
there.
Indeed. I found him a bit too wide last game. he wasn't central. He wasn't in the danger areas that he should have been. He had to drift wide for the ball, a bit deep sometimes, just because the Mount Pleasant defense did such a great job at keeping him at bay.
It's true, that's true. But I also think that's partially he felt the need to drop deep because he wasn't getting any service.
Yeah, the service was
Mount
definitely
Pleasant,
lacking.
quite frankly, passed them off the park, to be honest.
I mean, and that game was kind of a revenge fixture for Mount Pleasant. If you remember the first time they encountered a couple weeks before,
5-1 defeat.
Yeah, it was a crunching defeat. So, they had a little bit more to prove than I think the Harbourview team, and they showed it.
I think definitely what came into play as well was the fact that in the first game there were a couple of suspensions and injuries and other circumstances that led to a couple players not, being there. So I think they definitely wanted to prove that, hey, it's not that you guys were better than us. It was just
had a couple of players missing. So this is our true self, which was a great watch. The first game, I thought was very, very entertaining. The second game, not so much. I mean, Mount Pleasant did what they had to do to get all 3 points. And a bit of early attack here from Cavaliers, but the referee calls that one back for a push in the back.
Damani Balin called for offside there. I believe he's making his first start in this competition.
Came on last week and did well for himself. Was a dull affair, but he had provided some bit of spark for the Cavaliers team when he came onto the pitch last week. And an early cross there, but is dealt with comfortably by the Harbourview man in goal.
I'm definitely looking to see how well Mr. Singh does in goal today. Bit vertically challenged, but we can see what he can do.
Let's hope Cavaliers can take advantage of that.
I'm definitely looking to see how they will take advantage of that, because they have had a problem really getting goals from elsewhere apart from Marley Williams this season.
And he has been electric.
Yeah, he's definitely been one of the standout players in this tournament, but as I said before, Cavalier definitely will need to learn to find goals from elsewhere.
Indeed. And who's that one player who want to see step up other from Marley Williams for this Cavalier team? And as a brilliant ball, and this should be 1-0, and
that should have been one, but comfortable save for Jian Singh.
That was more at the keeper, and it's a misstep there, but the keeper, he loses out.
Away the ball to Watson. And again, really should be doing better with a chance.
I think
Jaquan Stewart there making a meal of it in the box.
It should be 1-0.
It really should.
Will these missed opportunities come back to haunt this Cavaliers team? As I said before, goals, they haven't found them easy in this competition thus far, and they just give away 2 big opportunities to take the lead just now.
Yes, that's definitely a concern. And with the attacking prowess that Harbourview have, of course, with Tyreek, as we mentioned before,
that man himself,
Brown, who usually comes off the bench and does well, they do have more of an attacking threat, so they're gonna have to take their chances. And to answer your question that you asked earlier in terms of who I'd like to see step up in this Cavalier team. Ooh, collision there with Jian Singh on Watson.
A nasty collision there. Goalkeeper caught Watson there a bit high with his knee. Not intentional, of course, but the referee has to stop proceedings.
I hope he's definitely, he's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, to answer your question, I'd definitely like to see more from Javel Watson.
Oh, indeed.
He's already scored a goal this season, but definitely looking for more from him. Needs to be more aggressive, and we need to see more confidence from him in front of goal. He's already had a couple of chances today.
He should have scored that earlier chance.
Definitely.
What do you make of the absence of Jordan or Redison?
It's definitely going to be a factor. He's Cavaliers' best defender by far.
Indeed.
So it's definitely going to be a big miss.
I do agree with you there, John. I believe Cavaliers will miss Redison in the middle of defense.
Yeah, very aggressive defender.
Strong on the ball, also decisive in his tackling, in his positioning. Sometimes a one-man wall, if you may. Very mature, and is that man
Williams winning the ball back in the midfield.
Tries
Cut out by Edwards, arguably the defender of the tournament thus far.
So composed on the ball.
On and off the ball.
Headed out there by Thompson.
Watson, a good ball back to Jacquez. Cross. And that's comfortable for Jayan Singh.
The ball is being played in the Harbourview half at the moment. Cavaliers had the better of the opportunities. Should have taken at least one of them. I haven't seen much from Harbourview.
I think one of the biggest problems so far for Harbourview is that they're really poor from playing out from the back. Most of their defenders aren't really comfortable playing on the ball aside from Edwards. So they're just opting to go long, and of course that's leading to a high turnover rate thus far from Harbourview. They're just gonna have to learn somehow to get it into the midfielders with time and space and just allow them to dictate the play. But thus far it's been really all Cavaliers.
Yes, all Cavaliers is opening minutes. If Harbourview should get something from this game, I do believe there needs to be a change in their approach. Thompson goes long again to Robinson, but he's dispossessed easily. Demario White, the man to dispossess him, conceding a throw in the process. Tariq Robinson needs to be on the ball if Harbourview is to get something out of this game.
Definitely has to. Kept quiet last week, but I definitely expect him to bounce back this week. And as quiet as it's kept, Harbourview for the last 3 games haven't won a game.
They haven't.
And this you wouldn't expect that given their position in the standings,
and that's a poor. But Cavaliers can't capitalize on that poor pass over on the back. And again, they just don't look comfortable here, John. And here is Robinson again doing some defensive duties on the edge of his own penalty box.
They lose the ball again. They're going to have to find a way how to be more comfortable playing out from the back, or else this could be a very long afternoon for them. And here's Beckford.
A bit too much on the pass there, and this will trickle to the keeper harmlessly. And I must say, the Harbourview team, they've been doing well to start the competition after that huge win over Mount Pleasant. They turn a corner, but not for the good. They've had a running of 3 bad results after that win. A bit of complacency, or that's just their peak.
I think what has happened is their style of football, in my opinion, has caught up to them. As Joel French goes on down the wing to take on Rashawn Small.
Tries to find a pass back, but
Stewart, but can't do so. But yeah, I think really what's happened is their style of football has caught up to them. It's a very, I say, physically draining style.
Yes.
I think KFA and Mount Pleasant, they're more dominant on the ball than them.
More
so
position-based.
it's not necessarily just a case of just all of a sudden dropping out of form or be complacent. It's just, I think their style of football is a bit more demanding. It's more reliant on individual brilliance, and that is not going to lead to a consistent, source of results for any team.
And that was a good idea there, but not the best execution to get the Harbourview man in there. Harbourview seems to have, string a couple passes together. Nothing too threatening as yet, but trying to come alive in this match. And I do agree with you. I do think Harbourview has the potential or the players, and that's a beautiful ball there. Should be 1-0.
Deshaun Jacquez really should have done better with that one, and Jian Singh goes down here. I'm sure why, but I feel like that those should be a 1-0.
A collision there, but I thought he could have taken the shot or even crossed it. He had options there to his right.
He had time.
Ballin was there. Again, I do believe these miss or half chances will catch up to this Cavaliers team sooner or later, because you just need one chance. And I do believe Tariq Robinson, the player that he is, offers so much if given that opportunity. We've seen him score a free kick out of nothing. We've seen him score goals out of nothing, just the ball being played into him, one touch out of his feet and his top corner. So Cavaliers should be doing better with these one-on-one opportunities. That's the second one thus far, and they have failed to really test the keeper.
I mean, if you look for no better example, really, look no farther than their previous game between these two, where it took a late free kick from Tyreke Robinson himself to get that late equalizer. So I definitely think that this will be a tight affair, but Harbourview can definitely capitalize if a Cavalier fail to take their chances.
And also, we've spoken about the captain for Cavaliers, Damarle Williams, and the players would want to see step up with him or step up in his place. How about Harbourview? I mean, other from Tariq Robinson, which other player can be a threat for this Cavaliers team, or even other teams in the competition, seeing that we have we're coming to the back end of the competition. Which other player would you want to see step up?
I think Stephen John Bickford has gone under the radar.
A brilliant player.
He's been really, really good for Harbourview this season. He's definitely a player who, despite the fact that he's definitely a traditional 8, who's able to dictate play as well. Just
he will cover every blade of grass out there.
He's definitely someone who can make the difference for this Harbourview team. We've seen him do it, as well as also Kajay Fletcher. He started out the competition as a substitute, but he's become more of a regular start in the last 4 or 5 games or so, and he's definitely proven his worth. I think he can make the difference, as well as even Kelvin Brown. He was starting the last couple of games, but they've opted to put Joel French back into the starting lineup.
For me, Larman is that player that he has the potential. I mean, last week's fixture, he had a impact on the game, just not the cutting edge. I believe if he's given more and more chances, that he can be that player to step up with Tariq Robinson. Cavalier players down, but the referee says play on as Cavalier keep possession here. Demario White with the ball. Crosses in. Should be 1-0.
Joaquin Bryan, what a shot. But saved there by Singh. Hit onto the bar, where we questioned before the start of the game whether or not he could make the difference in goal today due to his height, but he's just made a great save.
That's a brilliant save there.
Perhaps a comfortable height for him, but he still had to get to that one and push it onto the bar.
He had to go up and get that one. Ballin gets past 2. Plays it to Williams.
Bryan bodied off the ball there by Edwards, looking for French, and he finds him, but a bubble on the ground just takes it away from him.
Thompson.
Edwards, so versatile. We've seen him play at right back this season and centre back.
So comfortable on the ball also.
Yeah.
Still Edwards.
To Larman, poor pass though, and that's cut out by Cavalier.
Thought he should have taken a the shot there. Thompson as well to recover.
I think he's been one of the big surprises so far because aside from probably the Montego Bay game where they targeted him, he's done really, really well. And you wouldn't think that by looking at him that he played this well.
I think if more teams did what Montego Bay did, they would have gotten some more success out of him. As I mentioned, the Montego Bay team use their wingers to actually get at him early, press the first touch, prevent passes from coming into him because, as you can see, one of his strengths is just booting the ball upfield. Is a very good long pass on him, and the Harbourview team uses that to their advantage. Game has gotten a bit scrappy in the last 5 minutes, a lot of loose passes. Patrick out to Williams. A little bit over 20 minutes gone in this fixture, still 0-0. Cavaliers having the better of the early chances. Should have at least taken one of those chances, but still early days.
Definitely. And keep in mind, folks, don't go anywhere after this match. We have another 2 games coming up. Next game will be the 2 o'clock kickoff between Mount Pleasant and Kingston Football Academy. In my opinion, the 2 teams that play the best brand of football so far in this tournament.
Indeed. Very position-based, Montego Bay, very attacking and position-based. And I think they control all 3 facets of the game very well. They defend very well, strong midfield, and attacking-wise, my word.
Definitely looking forward to seeing Franco Celestine go at the KFA defense.
He had a little cameo last week against this Harbourview team, and he ran them to ragged. Won a penalty in that game also.
Yeah, definitely.
Very direct player.
Kevon Brown had to bring him down in that game because he was causing havoc.
Damari Williams. Shot!
For a second there, I thought that was heading in.
I thought that was going in also.
Brilliant shot.
That's the danger of having that man on the ball there.
No one else can make a difference. He definitely can.
He definitely can.
Peyton Larman thought he was fouled there, but the referee says no. Just play on. Nick Wayne Patrick does well there to get it to Brian, but that goes off
shot
for a
on
corner.
him just at the last moment, and the referee, he is actually pointed for a goal kick.
Probably a foul there or something. Thought that should have been a corner.
I thought it was a corner. I think the referee or the linesman over there judged that he had gone off Brian last for a goal kick. Position stay with Harbourview. Seemed to be an off the ball injury here of some sort. to the Harbour View man. And the medical team has been summoned by the referee to assess the player down. Can't quite see which player it is as yet. Still 0-0 between Harbour View and Cavaliers here at the Constant Spring. Not much to write home about in this first half. Cavaliers having the better chances. Should have been 1 or 2-0 up. Hit the crossbar also. Tariq Robinson. Nice idea there, but no one.
Cavaliers seem to have found a gem here in Joaquin Bryan. Been very lively thus far.
Indeed.
Patrick trying to find him, but unable to do so, and that goes straight through to Jian Singh.
What does Cavalier need to do different in this first half? Or they just need to find the back of the net, having had the better of the chances?
Definitely, they need to work on the decision making in the final third, but otherwise they've been great this far. Definitely didn't expect them to be out playing Harbour View, given all that we've seen this season.
Yes, indeed. As I said, the Harbour View second on the table currently, behind Mount Pleasant Football Academy. Played some very good football early on, had that huge result against Mount Pleasant, but it just hasn't ticked after that. Lost 2, drawn 1 after that result. Balling. Tried to play Watson in there, but position still with Cavaliers. Balling. Jacks still balling. Here comes Harbour View on the counter-attack. Payton turns into 3 Cavaliers player there and loses out. Still fights. Best move there by Harbour View, but just outside. KJ Fletcher almost gives Harbour View the lead there. Brilliant work. Harbour View's best play of this first half almost resulted in a goal. Just couldn't find the inside of the post. Thompson leaves it, and it should be 1-0 now. A mix up there at the back, and it was almost a goal out of nothing. Thompson left it for his keeper. The keeper thought Thompson had it, neither had it, and at the second time of asking, the keeper had to clean up, and Thompson will see this one out.
Seems Robinson's been a bit frustrated thus far.
Yes, haven't seen much of the ball. Haven't been at his influential best so far. Fletcher.
You know, during the early parts of the season, I always wondered why he was drifting out wide.
So wide, yeah.
But I think I understand now. I think he probably just plays better with an actual striker beside him rather than him having to play an out-and-out 9 position. I think he's best there.
And I'm kind of conflicted or torn between, you know, do I want him as my number 9? He has scored a goal, but do I want him out on this left or right hand side where we have seen him take players on and just beat him then down the line, delivering a crossing or even cutting in on that favorite left foot of him and whipping a dangerous shot.
Yeah, he definitely seems as though he's best when he's more of an inside forward, looking to create havoc rather than having to be that
up front man.
Yeah.
Murder.
Rough tackle there by Jaquan Stewart, but he gets the ball.
Yeah, a fair tackle, and that
able to keep the ball in play.
And a flare up of temper there
between him and the Marley Williams.
Throw into Cavaliers. Jacks loses out. Oh! A bit too aggressive there for the referee's liking, and the Jacks will get a talking to. Coach Stanley on this touchline instructing a few of his players to stay high to counter-attack the Harbourview long free kick. miscommunication there between the two Harbourview players. Concedes a needless throw-in.
Just slightly over 10 minutes to go in the first half here. Seems the game has, a bit cooled down a bit. It was very intense in the first half, in the first part of the first half. Definitely had a lot of chances, but
Cavaliers having the better of those chances, indeed. Haven't produced much after that crossbar attempt. Game definitely petering out. Who needs it to win more?
I definitely think if Harbourview want to claim that automatic top 2 spot that would gain them automatic semi-final spot, then I definitely think it's them. But I think with Cavalier now, I think their spot's already secure in terms of they will make the quarterfinal.
Right.
There's no real hope for them to really trouble the top 2 at this point in time. I think really it's definitely Harbourview.
And I would agree with that. So I'm kind of disappointed in the Harbourview showing this week as I was last week. They seem very content in, letting this settle as a 0-0 draw. Expect a bit more fight, a bit more attacking tenacity out of the team. Just, secure up that number 2 spot. Hasn't been that way. Don't know if I should credit the Cavaliers team or criticize Harbourview more for not, going at it.
I think it could be a little bit of both, because as I said before earlier, when I was describing them tactically, they're definitely a team that relies more on individual brilliance than anything. But definitely the credit also has to go to Cavalier, because if nothing else, this is something that I've believed wholeheartedly throughout the season. They're a team that, regardless of how they play throughout the course of 90 minutes, they know how to get a result.
Indeed.
We've seen them have a number of poor performances this season and still manage to get a 1-0 or 1-0 victory or a 1-1 draw. So I have to give Cavalier credit. Sometimes a team just knows how to get results.
And they do know how to get results. They've had a couple of underwhelming performances. 2 draws to Montego Bay when they were clear favorites. But they've also produced, some very good moments.
Definitely. The first game, if you remember, against Montego Bay, they ran them ragged. It should have probably been 6 or 7.
It should have been 6-7 though.
Najani Blair kept Montego Bay United in that game.
What a performance from the keeper that day. What a performance. He was single-handedly responsible for that game and not being at least 7-0. First corner kick of the game goes to the Harbourview team. Played in by Payton, and it's going towards target by Edwards. A push in the back there by Tyreek Robinson to alleviate the pressure.
Singh with yet another save. He's done really, really well thus far in goal. The young goalkeeper. His first start of the competition, but gave a good account of himself on that shot.
Marley Williams, the man there, took the shot on. Comfortable save in the end by the keeper.
Great ball from Williams to Brian. Jay Sean Edwards tracking him down. He does get the cross away.
But no one in that danger spot.
No one to put it away for Cavalier. It's been a big problem for this season, as we mentioned before. Apart from Williams, not a lot of threat goal scoring wise.
Ballin. Shot there by Ballin, just wide. You see the intention there. Cavaliers managed to keep the pressure on the Harbour team up high. Probably that's the best way for a goal now. Just to press them high, wait for a mistake of some sort.
Definitely. Apart from Mount Pleasant, really, a lot of teams in this competition really struggle with pressure up front. So it's definitely a good strategy. Poor kick there from Thompson, but it gets to Robinson.
Yeah, finds his way to his target. Robinson, who gets it out on this right hand side. Still Robinson. Plays a delicate ball through the middle there. Couldn't find his target, and now Fletcher. Get past his man.
Skill there from Fletcher, but
it's a disappointing cross. Robinson deep on the ball. Works out eventually as he gets it out. Corner whips in. Fletcher try to get something on it. Keeps it in play. Robinson. Out by Henry. Comes to Robinson, and that's a handball there by Captain Marley Williams, and this could be dangerous here.
Yeah, we definitely know he's a threat from set pieces.
Indeed.
So we'll be looking for him to strike this one, but also Peyton Larman seems to be over the ball.
Just to confirm, the yellow card, first one of the game, shown to Marley Williams.
They'll have
for
to
that
be careful
handball.
with him. Don't want to lose their danger, man.
Yes, yes. Larman and Robinson stands over this free kick for Harbourview.
Just 2 minutes remaining in this half. Can we get a goal here to break the deadlock?
Peyton is
Longman takes it, and that's straight into the wall. Poor free kick.
a disappointing free kick. And the attack peters out for a goal kick to the Cavaliers team. Approaching halftime, still 0-0 between Cavaliers and Harbourview. Have been a game of patches. Cavaliers having the better of a couple of good chances, forcing a beautiful save out of the Harbourview goalkeeper, tipped the ball onto the crossbar. Harbourview had a very good chance but couldn't capitalize, and that one falls to the keeper safely. And that will do for halftime. The first match of today's triple header. Harbourview 0, Cavaliers 0.
Oh, I mean, Brentford.
Like you blowing. Hold on, let me see if I can fix this first. See, fix it, yeah? Then I have to struggle again.
Look up and see the ball here and try to pick it up on the screen after. Remember the camera,
Let us move this and carry it. Come like this. We can catch it. No, we can't do no. Well, we never start.
C3 said, give them a draw last.
Yeah, but you know, remember, I'm telling you, squad start, right? And there's a reason why this is the problem. It's a squad start versus Cavaliers. Trossard, anywhere, Sterling, Mourinho, Jorginho. But Sterling, let Sterling drop way off. And the reason why that, even today's squad start, no, 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 hottest lineup start now. Was it,
And we are about to begin the second half between Cavaliers and Harbour. Waiting on the referee's signal, and that it's 11v11. Referee satisfied, and we're off for the second half. Cavaliers with the early possession. Gives it to Larman of Harbour View. Still Larman. Now he loses out. Mishandling there by the keeper, but no harm done. Harbour View comes away with it. Beckford.
Great ball by Beckford. Finds Robinson. It's away from his defender.
They did
Loses
well
out
to
there.
put him off there.
I
Was
think he,
gearing up for the shot. Edwards.
again, Robinson's just playing a bit too deep here.
He seems to be dictating the play as that striker.
I don't know. I think he needs to get a bit further up the pitch, honestly.
I just need him in the box as my number 9. I just need him in the box. You can hear Coach Stanley for Cavaliers just on the bench telling his team to double up, double. Instructions given to subdue the number 9 of Harbour View, Tariq Robinson.
So far, they've been doing a really good job of that.
A really
Kept
good
him
job.
quiet thus far. It's Harvey.
Now to Edwards. He's just so comfortable on the ball, Edwards. Still Edwards.
To Robinson.
Should be 1-0.
Another block. Cavalier defending really well here.
Oh, it's Harbour View team just come to life there. Very good interplay. Cavalier just managed to black that one at the end.
Robinson takes the corner. Just eludes any of his teammates. And Watson can break for Cavalier.
What do you make of Tariq Robinson being on these corner kicks for the Harbour View team, being the number 9? Kind of akin to Hurricane back at the World Cup and Euros for England, taking set pieces.
I've never liked the idea
Same.
of having your forward take set pieces that are, not threatening to the goal. I don't personally like it. Because any goal scorer, they have the mentality that they want to score goals. They want to be on the end of it. And I understand that in the absence of Zaire Dose, that he's probably the best player technically that they have for those set pieces, but I just don't like the idea of it.
Yes. I want my forward players, my striker, being on the end of those set pieces, not the one orchestrating it.
This should be a card for sure. This definitely has to be a card for both players. Robinson simply cannot do that. He's had some attitude problems.
I think the referee has called the free kick in favor of Harbour View there.
Which is so surprising to me.
And he has.
I understand that, it's a younger players. You're just getting them to understand, the facets of the game. This is a developmental league. But at some point, discipline has to come into play. You cannot put your arm around somebody's head and put them in some kind of a headlock and expect that they're going to be
Right.
to just roam free like that. That should have at least been a yellow card.
Should at least been a yellow card. The referee, no yellow card or foul to the Cavaliers team. Instead, it's Harbour that got the call.
Really surprising decision by the referee.
Yeah, and they have been getting criticized over these past couple of weeks for a couple of decisions in some games that they haven't been consistent with.
I don't envy the job of a referee. I understand that it is very hard, but
Yes.
still, I think you can become too lenient at times. I understand the premise of it, but I think he's being a bit too lenient here.
I would agree with that.
Because definitely, Robinson's going to have to learn that when he goes off to play in
A much higher league, a much higher developmental stage of his career, then these are the things they will result in yellow cards.
Definitely.
Yellow cards lead to suspension. If you're suspended, you can't play. So I think it's important at this level that he understands that.
Definitely. He has to get that under wraps. Let's looking for French. Wins it. Robinson trying to find Beckford, but that's cut out there by Cavalier.
Demario White. A mix-up between the two, and surely this 1-0.
And Javel Watson, it seems, gets
Watson.
his second goal of the competition. And what did I tell you? Like, Cavalier, they just know how to get results. They just, no matter how they play, just...
The ball played in was seemingly harmless, but a mix-up between Thompson and his goalkeeper there. What's to just capitalize on that error there at the last minute between the two? Advantage Cavaliers. This is what they do, though.
Yeah, this is what they do. And we spoke earlier about if any player needed to step up elsewhere to score goals
should
apart
be
from Marley
Watson.
Williams.
Yes.
It was Watson, and he has stepped up here. So credit to him.
Coach Stanley not happy there as Tariq Robinson was strayed into the Cavaliers half before the whistle was blown. And Cavaliers have their tail up, going 1-0 up, and that's a hard foul there by the Harbourview man.
This has definitely been one of the best performances I've seen from Cavalier all season. They've found a real gem in some of these young players.
Indeed.
Especially Joaquin Bryan today. I think it's definitely the first time I'm seeing him all competition long, and Joaquin Bryan is definitely give a great account of himself thus far.
He has. I mean, he came on last week and he looked like he had a little bit of extra step, a little bit of something special. And he has been rewarded with a start today, and it shows.
Yeah, definitely. Free kick taken by Williams here. And
Dangerous delivery there.
Singh unable to get to that one. Height coming into play there. Seems it's another set piece for Cavalier. Williams goes across the take.
And Cavaliers were due a goal. After that first half, the opportunities they had, they were due a goal. And it have come in this second half. Let's see if they take advantage of these set pieces to double their lead.
Williams takes.
At the back post, but
Deshaun Jacques is unable to really make clean contact with that header, and that will go out for a goal kick to Harbourview.
Contrastly, looking back to that first encounter between these two teams, it was a bit of a scrappy goal to open that game, and Harbourview fought back with a late free kick. Will we see the same?
Cavalier playing with a lot of energy here and effort. Tackles coming in thick and fast here.
Yes, very, very aggressive after that goal.
Seems you have some renewed confidence.
And we can see on the sideline Shaquan White going through the paces for Cavaliers. Will we see a change?
Brian, shot saved. He did have Deshaun Jacques to his right, but opted to go alone there. And it's a comfortable save by Singh.
I thought the better option was to go to his teammate there for a better shot. End up just a little toe poke towards goal. Comfortable for the keeper. Harbourview just trying to get a response after going 1-0 down. Decent looking ball, but Edwards. Robinson. Loses out to Damari Williams.
Williams has been everywhere today. And there's Watson. Outpaces Thompson there. But for some reason, gave up on it. And as we mentioned earlier, I think more teams should definitely do that. They should target Thompson's lack of pace. Just as we talked about earlier, in one of the games earlier with Montego Bay. That is how you're going to get at this Harbourview team. Attack him down that left-hand side.
Indeed, and he made a bad decision there, allowing that ball to bounce. Cavaliers just took advantage of it, but couldn't take enough advantage of it to get a shot away. But they have a corner here, so let's see how Harbourview defend this corner. Haven't seen much of them attacking wise in the second half. It's a very good delivery in the box, but it's dealt with.
Williams does well to keep possession here. Almost loses out.
Henry does well to keep possession. Henry rise that challenge. And surely that should result in a caution, and it does. A bit of frustration there by Tariq Robinson. Fouls his man. and then boots the ball out, and it results in a caution for the Harbourview striker.
Oh, shit.
Robinson, and that's a poor delivery, makes his way to a teammate. He has a shot, and the less said about that one, the better. But, the referee has indicated for a corner. So Harbourview will get another bite at the cherry from a set piece, and no Larman goes over. Comfortable for the keeper. Gets his upfield quickly, but is dealt with. Nice idea there by Tarek Robinson, but the execution was lacking. Again, Harbourview, they have had a couple of these half chances with Robinson in this area, but no help. It's a beautiful ball.
Takes on Brown, beats him,
Tries to goes around him.
and save there.
Should be.
And it's, oh, and it's just gone out for a corner kick. For a second, I thought that was going in.
I thought that was in. Just at the back of the net there. And the Harbourview escapes momentarily. Have to defend this set piece.
Deshaun takes this one. And that's gone behind for a goal kick.
Good one, two there. But Brian just couldn't keep the one with him. And it will be a Harbourview goal kick. Fletcher. No Brown. Beckford. Beautiful move there, and Beckford is in.
And it seems French is. I thought he put that over the bar, but apparently it is a corner kick to Harbourview. Lovely move there by Harbourview, one of the few well put together moves of this second half. And they will be rewarded for their efforts. A corner kick of which Peyton Larman will be taking. And takes it short to Robinson. Crosses.
Whips it across
and Beckford unable to make clean contact with that, and that goes out for a throw.
Going back to that earlier chance there by Harbourview, Beckford, Fletcher and Robinson all involved in that sweeping move. Just couldn't apply a finishing touch. Those three players just now, I think they should be on the ball more for Harbourview if they are to get an equalizer out of this one.
But I think in addition to that, as we were speaking before, Robinson definitely needs to be a bit better off the ball. I think he's coming deep way too much, and that is causing some problems for Harbourview.
Indeed.
He needs to get in beyond the defender. It's way easier to defend this team when they have the ball in front of them.
He seems to be playing a creator role other than a striker role, having to come deep, taking touches and getting players involved in the game.
Harbourview are definitely going to have to sort out the creativity in the middle of the park if they are to get something from this game.
Absolutely.
As it stands though, Robinson over this one. Cavalier opting for a two-man wall.
Robinson
Free kick
goes for goal, and
great
a
save.
decent save there by the keeper. Saw it all the way.
Jamari Gordon diving outstretched to his near post there. Gets that one. Commanding his defenders in the box here.
Robinson.
Edwards on the ball. And the pass, just a bit too much on it there. And Kevon Brown's unable to get to that one.
Nice idea, but not the execution that was required to get Brown involved in the play.
Another Brown for Harbourview. Kelvin definitely missed his presence today. His goal scoring threat, his hold up play, definitely vital to their success. Fletcher, wonderful ball. Shot by Peyton Larman, but over the bar. Harbourview edging ever closer to getting that equalizer.
say? No, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Can move from now. How much minutes now? Shop, much minutes?
Yeah, about 15 or so. Night, so we move from now like we didn't stop.
Yeah. Just keep it focused on the screen.
A breaking play for the goalkeeper of Cavalier to get some treatment. Just a reminder of the score. It's 1-0 to Cavaliers.
It's the whole weekend in Joe can't make it better.
Goal scored by Javel Watson in the second half.
I read this. Let me see you in a
But my taste the mountain
It is raining over there, but they say it can't come from this side, so rain come from that side here.
behind the mountain.
Rain no come from that side.
shop. This mountain is still in the shop.
Alright, shop.
And tell me which hurricane you ever see move from north or south?
I'm on God.
No. Alright. Tell me which
We must say
hurricane.
all they are used, so we can't really get the budget to there comment, you know?
No, which hurricane run from? You ever see come from north or south?
We just come from any direction.
How people are so cheap.
Referee ready to resume proceedings. Robinson, beautiful control there. Gets it out to Peyton, but Fletcher intervened there. Still Fletcher. Being marked tightly by Simeon Henry. And Henry gives up a free kick. "73 minutes has passed in this game. Still 1-0. Tarek Robinson stands over this free kick. Robinson. Spilled by the keeper first time, but Harbourview couldn't capitalize. A stinging effort there from Tarek Robinson. The goalkeeper had to be alert, and now he's down in some pain yet again. And Cavaliers seems to be ready to make a double substitution. Number 13, Shaquan White, will be introduced. And Aldino Walters also will be introduced in this second half. Simeon Henry, the play to make way in, along with Shaquin Bryan. Bryan has had a couple of good interplay, but couldn't make his mark on the game, so he makes way along with Simeon Henry for Cavaliers. Harbourview also look to be making a double substitution anytime soon. Thompson gets it away. Bedford. Beckford gets it out to Robinson. Robinson holds it up well. Still Robinson. Gets it into Fletcher. Now Fletcher. First time crossing. A miss kick there. And finally Cavaliers gets it out, but not far enough. Beckford. Now Edwards. Payton takes the substitute Brian on. White, sorry. Still Payton. And Payton wins his team a throw-in. Robinson. White. Thompson does well in the air. Beckford. Brown. Almost loses it. Force a mistake by the goalkeeper there. And Cavaliers will get a throw-in. Thompson watching the goal scorer Watson very tightly. Double team of Thompson and Fletcher there. Wins a throw-in for Harbourview. Scores still 1-0 in favor of Cavaliers. As the referee holds play for a double substitution for Harbourview. Jamin Lattery and Malik Wright makes way for Harbourview. Looks for options. Trying to find Patrick. Brown wins a free kick easily there. Stewart and Fletcher, the two players to make way for Harbourview. Larman. Foul, but Harbourview keeps possession, so the referee plays on. Thompson. Up to Robinson. Misses him, but almost works out. Edwards. Not the tightest of controls there, but it works out for Harbourview, and the referee stops play immediately for a head injury. Harvey, the player, down. And he's getting a bit of medical attention there.
trust in you.
Listen, rain can't come from this.
No, I'm not gonna lie to you. We trust in you. Believe in what I tell you.
I know this too, but we can see this better. You can see this way better. Watch it. No like this. Yeah, look on this.
Harvey is still receiving some medical treatment, and he will be asked to leave the field of play. Blood on his jersey seemed to have gotten a blooded mouth there, and he will receive some additional medical attention. Robinson leaves the latest free kick to Larmon. Larmon, and that effort was underwhelming at best. Didn't trouble the keeper any at all.
Jacques looking for Watson. He's through on goal here.
Cavalier?
Seemed to be a dangerous break there, a counter attack for Cavalier, but unable to really make use of it, and that will be a throw kick. A throw, rather. Cross into the box. Evades.
Thompson with a miss acrobatic attempt there to clear. If this result should hold up, this will spell 3 losses and a draw for Harbourview in the last 4 games.
And despite the fact that they have had, 1 or 2 absentees, it really just goes to show, as I said before, they do need to opt to play a better brand of football. I think that just goes down to coaching. They're gonna have to fix a few things when they go back to the drawing board to really stop this late season, run of poor form.
Indeed. A bit of frustration has kicked into the Harbourview team in the second half.
And it's evident none more so than in their star man, Tyreek Robinson. He's been frustrated the entire afternoon. We've seen it in a number of different forms, whether it be through just his conduct on the pitch or him electing to come deep for the ball on numerous occasions. And that's Watson,
a poor giveaway.
Picked the pockets of the defense is Deshaun Jacques. As time has space, finds the Marley Williams. Has a shot, and that is blocked. I have no idea why Cavalier took so long to get a shot off there.
I thought they had the opportunity a lot sooner to get a shot at goal, but didn't.
Just 4 minutes to go in this one. Harbourview still looking for a goal. Here's Watson seeking to double Cavaliers' lead. Trying to get past Brown. Unable to do so and go back. Finds a teammate.
Jackers. Tried to get Walters in there, but just couldn't. Beckford also misses the ball. Back to Jackers. Demarley Williams.
Great ball. Found Watson.
And this should be 2-0.
Oh, and the
Off the
shot goes off
upright.
the post. So unlucky there.
The ball still remains.
Still on the ground. Not sure if it's out of frustration or took a knock.
That should be 2-0, John.
That really should have been 2. Great effort there.
Folks, don't go anywhere. We have the second match today between Mount Pleasant and KFA just after this one. Score still 1-0 in favor of Cavaliers. Should have been probably 3 or 4, but just 1-0.
Watson gets a shot off. And that's comfortable for Singh. Watson definitely been lively this afternoon. Of
He
course,
has
the
been.
lone goal scorer in this game so far. Williams on the ball yet again, always making things happening for his team. But that's cut out by Dominic Thompson. Higgins, substitute for Harbourview. Robinson finds himself deep yet again. If Harbourview are to score, he's going to have to get further up the pitch.
Taylor loses out. Henry.
We're into stoppage time here. Still no indication from the referee as yet as to how many minutes of stoppage time we'll be having. Robinson, poor pass forward.
What?
Poor clearance as well.
Position will stay with Harbourview though, in the form of a throw, and the referee has 3 minutes to this second half and
Robinson
the end of this
crosses
affair.
the box. French unable to control it, and that will be cleared by Cavalier.
Will we see deja vu? Is there a late twist to this tale? Edwards. And a free kick here.
Of course, if you remember their last encounter, the 1-1 draw.
I could not forget that free kick.
It was a free kick.
And
we
here
have a
he
similar
comes.
result here.
Here he comes.
Robinson will be looking to repeat the same trick here. Will he go for goal? And goes just over the bar. Good effort.
You saw what he was trying to do there.
Definitely good. But seems as though this one will peter out for a 1-0 victory for Cavalier. Yet again, just finding ways to get their results.
Finding ways to win indeed. A well-deserved victory if it should stand for Cavaliers.
Definitely well-deserved. Had the better of the chances thus far.
Yes.
Played with a greater sense of urgency and took their chances when they came. And there's Aldinho Walters. He's through on goal here. Plays it across.
Should be 2-0.
For Deshaun Jacquez, and that's a handball. The referee rules it a penalty.
And he has pointed to the penalty.
Harbour viewer complaining
Spot
that
there.
it shouldn't be. But the referee thinks otherwise, and he points to the spot. Cavalier, with the last kick of the game arguably, have a chance to double their lead. And without a doubt, put this game to bed.
And the Harbour players are still protesting.
And Kevon Brown has kicked the ball away from the spot. And usually, in any other league, I'm pretty sure a lot of these offenses by the players would have been carded.
That should have been a yellow card, surely.
Surely, but
And still the Harbour players protest the decision, and I think Beckford has been booked. I can't tell for certain, but
could argue
no,
should
finally
also be a booking for Brown.
the penalty will take place. DeMarley Williams. 2-0. Comfortable penalty, and that should do it.
Well-deserved victory for Cavalier here.
Indeed. Dealt with the dangers that Harbour presented in the form of Tarek Robinson well for the 90-plus minutes. And that is full time.
Scoreline reads Cavalier 2, Harbourview 0, thanks to goals from Javel Watson. And with the last kick of the game, a penalty from starman DeMarley Williams. Your thoughts on who the man of the match today was for Cavalier?
I would definitely give it to DeMarley Williams. He has been everywhere.
He had a great performance today, but I could also argue for Javel Watson. Had a good performance as well. Very lively up front.
Indeed.
Was probably the only one giving a threat in terms of the runs in behind for Cavalier.
That's a good call also. Folks, please stay around here at MG Sports, where we'll bring you the second game of today's encounters between Mount Pleasant and KFA.